Here we go. We're going to start ranking the Phase 5 films. And just a reminder for those that don't remember, you got Guardians 3, Ant-Man 3, Thunderbolts, Cap 4, Deadpool and Wolverine, and The Marvels. So yeah, let's rank them. So, Unity, what would we say is number 1?
Guardians 3 by default.
I still put it as my overrated movie of 2023. The main thing that's really carrying it is the rocket stuff.
Every other element is just, hey, Star-Lord, do you want to go back home? I was like, not really. And then a bunch of unrelated stuff later. It's like, oh shit, I want to go back home.
It's also the start of like Gunn using Twitter to explain everything. Like, why would he go back and get his helmet or his rockets boots or stuff like that? Like, why would he do that? That doesn't make sense. He was in a rush. Why would he get a second helmet? I wanted to destroy it for good in Guardians 2. The Russo brothers gave him a new one. How could they?
It's really the case of oh, he has too much power and ego got into his head, so he just being petty about this. I was like, yeah, he has too much control. It's the case again.
Yeah, and then you got this whole thing with the High Evolutionary, just kind of inconsistent altogether. What does he want? How does he get what he wants and all this stuff? I mean, he really is just a conduit for Rocket's story and showing how sad it is.
No one even talks about High Evolutionary anymore. That's a funny thing. People say he's deep as fuck. I was like, no, he's the dumbest person in the entire trilogy. There's infinite resources. Okay, infinite in the point of view of the audience. I was like, and he never used any of them efficiently. The only part is just Rocket's backstory. It's like, oh, that's actually interesting. And then I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh shit, the other part of the movie exists.
It was always funny to me because when they do the whole jumping out of the building thing, it's kind of feels set up for Quill is gonna have a new suit or a new helmet or a new rocket boots or something. Because it felt like it was taking its time to reveal that, but then all of a sudden, no, they wanted to reveal that Groot can grow wings. It's like, oh, fuck you.
What a great plan. And that is the scene straight after High Evolutionaries got blow up a planet because Peter Quill reminds him, people do bad stuff in your planet. I guess High Evolutionary never thought of that.
And I've also saw this conversation on Twitter. It's comparing Walker and Peter Quill. It's how Peter Quill killed a guy who was actually surrendering, saying I surrender, and all that stuff. But because that guy worked for High Evolutionary, gets him killed anyway by tackling him out the window and then slamming him into the ground. But you see, Quill is just a guardian, so he's not meant to be a good guy. So and all this stuff. But Walker, he's Captain America, so why would he kill a terrorist? That's cinema, I guess.
That's a top place, and that is still pretty bad.
Yeah, so you heard all the problems, but we still called it number 1. Number 2 is Thunderbolts. What does it do good?
John Walker has some good lines.
I do think that the team had a pretty good dynamic with each other, but a lot of it comes down to chemistry, which is per usual.
Walker has a lot of character assassination stuff. At the same time, he has some good stuff. Ghost has out character moments, but overall, she's nothing.
Bucky is just a blank slate. He's really just the generic super soldier that we know from the past, and he can just pop in and just do his thing and then just get out. What does he want? Why does he do what he wants? What does he get out of this thing? Don't really have anything anymore. It gets to a point where sometimes you do need to stop putting in a character. If there really is no more story to tell, it's I know you look at them like action figures, but they're still actors and people playing them, so...
Fun fact, you know there's a behind the scenes photo of Thunderbolts, but there's an alien species, but that is not in the movie. How many reshoots are there?
They're not going to talk about that. They're going to just praise their Oscar-nominated, all these things in our production, lighting, cinematography, directing, acting. We got all this stuff.
I guess no one talks about the writer of She-Hulk wrote Rick and Morty. That was also praiseworthy.
Making mental health the gimmick of the movie is just kind of weird as fuck. Congratulations to Thunderbolts and the fantabulous emancipation of one Yelena Belova for second place.
Yelena is the most in this film by default. That's the part they desperately want me to care about.
And then there's Sentry. He's there.
No, he's High Evolutionary, just a fucking contradictive moron. It's just different ways. But hey, Walker carries it.
That makes it second place. On to the third place, we've got
Cap 4.
The only thing I can really give is that Cap 4 does have a little bit when it comes to trying to connect the stories with Sam and Red Hulk, but it's very minimal because a lot of it comes down to, one, the forcing Hulk elements into the movie with Leader, who makes no fucking sense at all, and then you got all these things like Betty, my daughter, grade A writing.
Everything on Ross is so assassinated, it's insane.
You do got the do better better speech, but at least in this context, Sam has something to point to in his conversation. And like, you know, of course, he was gonna talk him down, it's not gonna work. Oh, that sucks. What's gonna happen next? Oh, he's gonna talk him down, it's gonna work this time. Oh, okay. The airstrike scene looks cool, surfing on a missile, I guess.
There's a few scenes that ain't bad, like, you know, Sam and Thunderbolt's initial meeting. I was like, oh, actually, that's not bad. That's like, oh shit, they actually bring out that's a good point. And then everything's downhill.
For me, the only thing I kind of liked about the movie was the idea with Isaiah and like how Sam wants to like prove his innocence and all that stuff. I wish there was more of that, but it gets bogged down by the Hulk shit and the later shit.
And Isaiah stuff is just background dressing at best.
Yeah, but you know, he's an old man, so you can't do too much with him. It was just something that I could latch onto. I just really liked Carl Lumbly and all that stuff. So it's just really funny now with Thunderbolts going like, you got to make an Avengers team, and then now it's like, there's a new Avengers team. Fuck you, I'm gonna sue you. It also implies that he's already made his Avengers team off screen, unless his Avengers team is just him and Torres.
Do you love the leader? He's totally not character assassinated again.
Yeah, but you see, he's also like a guy who knows the multiverse. So
the director said it's the Illuminati.
Don't you know that there's other worlds out there? Yeah, like Saturn.
Other elements, Sam regrets at best, assassinated at worst.
Sam, I would just say, is like, I like him a little bit more compared to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but the big problem is that it is still a sequel to that show, and you still have to remember that show did something despite how bad it is. The problem is like, you can literally delete the entire show, watch the movie from Endgame to Cap 4, and you feel like you did not miss anything outside of like maybe the introduction of Torres, who really got nothing.
Also Carl Lumbo.
And then yeah, with Isaiah as well. That's really all you get from that show. The show itself does not really matter, and that honestly is kind of what brings it down a lot, because like, if you can cut out an entire project's character, you feel like you've missed nothing and you're just wasting your time.
The only good parts is like there's like 2 or 3 scenes that's okay.
So let's go on to number 4. We got The Marvels.
The last 3 is basically just 1 out of 10 at best.
The only scene I liked was when the girls are like testing their powers and doing the switch thing, because the chemistry was really cute.
The entire movie is just filled with bullshit. World building problems.
Darben, my favorite MCU villain, I guess.
What does she do?
She kills herself.
Oh yeah, X-Men. Did anyone remember that?
Yeah, Beast. My biggest thing is like, I talked about this in the Thunderbolts video. It's like, you got some entity coming out from the multiverse, or like from a different dimension coming in, and that's the Fantastic Four ship. The first person that should really respond is Captain Marvel, because her best friend gets trapped through the rift in the same fashion. So, you know, and I also do feel pretty bad for Brie Larson and all this stuff. But their dynamic was really nice with Iman, Tiana, and Brie. They were really holding the film together. I do like them together, so it's like, I think that's kind of like what gives me something to latch onto. But the story is really kind of going nowhere. I mean, the justification as to why Captain Marvel has like been out was just like, there was this problem that happened on Hala, and like apparently destroying the AI sentience could also depower an entire sun, and it's like, I didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden it takes like Monica Rambeau to say, wait, you're like a car battery, why don't you restart the sun? And then she restarts the sun.
Don't get me started everything about Quantum Bangle. Don't worry, this movie do not remember anything about Miss Marvel or Secret Invasion. Apparently the Quantum Bangles created jump parts across the galaxy. Okay, even though there's like jump parts across the universe, apparently there's like time travel, but no one cracked that. Apparently this is like intercut with, I don't know, Pakistan tradition, which is like bullshit based on what this movie goes by. Why isn't the Quantum Bangle unlock mutant powers? No idea. And everyone can use that, so it just basically fucked over the entire show that everyone's fake about. How is that connected to the clandestine dimension? Who the fuck knows?
And then she kills herself.
And also Secret Invasion. Okay, Secret Invasion is a shit show.
Yes, but like, it's hilarious that the movie refuses to give anything from that show at all. It's like, oh, but like, why do you care? The plot sucked. I understand that, but like, they still have to reference something. There's been so many projects talking about shit presidents, and not one of them talks about the president from Secret Invasions who encouraged people to kill people thinking that they're Skrulls. No, they talk about President Red Hulk. Come on, my guy.
And also the fact that they're like, what if the Skrulls like, oh, they can live in Asgard. So the entire show is pointless. Can't say anything good about the Marvels.
All the leads are hot.
Oh yeah.
And that brings us to the 5th place film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Quantumania.
This is where people will say, wait a second, that's the worst one. No.
Just know MODOK carries the entire film.
I'm still ashamed to call Darren Cross as MODOK, but it is what it is at this point.
They actually follow his characterization in Ant-Man without realizing it.
Yeah, but you see, this film was just a linchpin to, like, for some fucking reason, putting Kang the Conqueror, their planned villain of the entire saga, as the main villain of this movie. I have no fucking idea why they did that. Feige really has to be a blame for that, and I will never let anybody say that it wasn't his fault. No, it was absolutely his fault. It was his idea to do that. He lost to ants. I mean, yeah, it's silly, goofy, haha. But like, you gotta remember that even before the domestic abuse and all that stuff, it's like, that was still the plan, and you still did it. It still fucking sucks. You gotta live with that.
By the way, even though there's like elements that ain't bad, do you know how much they fucked up way more? Do you guys love the part where Kang can open portals and then he sends Scott to a dimension where they can clone itself infinitely and it somehow resolve itself because holding hands means you can just suck up every single version back to yourself. What the fuck that is?
Quantum.
And there's like a lot of bullshit I remember. It's like, hey,
there's only one quantum realm. They all funnel into all the universes in the multiverse. They funnel into this one quantum realm.
And there's no time and space in that place for fuck all reasons. Cassie, Scott's dynamic absolutely got it, unfortunately.
Catherine Newton did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's just the characterization is fucked.
Wasp is irrelevant as usual.
Hank is now like, I'm fine with my dollar play around with quantum technology and across the world. And Janet is like, I don't want to tell you guys there's a multiverse destroying maniac in the quantum realm trying to escape because I want the life.
And then they're in the quantum realm and they're still going like, I don't want to tell you what it is yet. You guys are already in the quantum realm. Why are you still hiding it off? I didn't want you to be ashamed of my actions or stuff like that. But it's like, it's not your actions. It was Kang's actions. She touches the chair and she can see all of Kang's memories of what he used to do, because that's how it works. First off, if your chair can do that, why did you have Wasp like try to fix your chair then, if you know that it could reveal your identity or your bad qualities? Because you're trying to manipulate her, right? So it's like, why are you making her work on your chair? It doesn't make any sense.
Cassie can make a telescope across the quantum realm and can create portals across the quantum realm. Apparently now you can just access that technology, and knowing that the technology in quantum realm is like centuries, so it's like, oh shit, you gave characters access to centuries of technology, and Kang, Janet, Scott, no one gives a shit. Remember, Kang is dead.
And then it also introduces like all the fucking variants of Kang where they're all played by Jonathan Majors, so it's like they can't even try to do the recast even if they wanted to. That was one of the biggest mistakes. They really should have kept on to Kang being the saga villain. I don't care if it didn't work out. Finish it through and then just move on. I still don't agree with like shoehorning. Just recast him. It's like, you shouldn't have like put Dr. Doom, like force him in like in the last minute as if like you built up to this. No, you did not. You were trying to build up Kang. And
fucking Star Wars recasted Bail Organa, and that guy has like appeared in like 4 or 5 products aside from that. The prequels, Rogue One and Obi-Wan, and they still recasted him because the story needs it.
And it's normal. Like, I don't understand like what the fuck was the problem. It's like, and then you also like kind of like ruin, like if you don't want to use Kang, you want to maybe use one of his bigger variants like Immortus or Scarlet Centurion or any one of them. King Ramatut is like, there's like other Kang variants they could have used if they didn't want to do Kang the Conqueror, but then they also did the whole like, oh, they're all played by the same actors. Like at that point, still again, recast and at least finish the story, good or bad. I'd rather you finish the story you wanted to tell than just like completely shifting, wasting the time, and then ruining another character that you didn't have to do that to. But this like being such a big like linchpin, and it's the start of phase 5 is like so weird and bizarre, and I never really understand it.
To finish this off, do you remember what Michael Douglas said? So the interviewer asked, if they do another film with you, will you come back?
Only if they kill me off.
Yes.
Yeah, that should pretty much sums it up, the Ant-Man franchise at this point.
Which is a shame, because I argue the first film is underrated.
Definitely had a lot of Edgar Wright helping with that one. And with that, we go to number 6, which is Deadpool and Wolverine. Why is this bad, man? I mean, like, you got Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, you got the Fox guys. Like,
my god, you are lucky, because I'm actually slowly making a Deadpool Wolverine video whenever I free, basically never. I was literally looking at every single line scenes. I was like, Deadpool does not even act like Deadpool remotely. He just gave up a job because he can't join the Avengers. Vanessa hates him for not being an Avenger. Yeah, that's a character assassination.
Things don't matter because the real Marvel team that matters is the Avengers, because we gotta suck off the fucking Avengers dick all the time.
Also, one element we did not notice until I've added the video, so they retconned the ending of the second film. film. Remember the time travel sequence? They replaced the entire order in the third film. So that the last thing Deadpool did is to save Vanessa, and he killed Hitler, killed Weapon X Deadpool, whatever the fuck that is. And now Deadpool saved Vanessa at the end. They replaced all the orders. That's a fucking retcon in 10 seconds. Massive one. Like, going through that film is a chore for me.
I know people talk about it all the time, like, oh, but like this is a variant of Hugh Jackman. It's not the Logan that you remember from the film. First off, they fucking take. I know people talk about it all the time, like, oh, but like this is a variant of Hugh Jackman, Logan's dead body, and use it as like a weapon. You got that, all the adamantium bones, and then you got, even if you have the same actor playing the character again as a different version of the character, you're still like removing that finality of like having these actors stop, because like sometimes you just gotta stop. And ultimately, what is the story that they tell with him that really needed to be told?
Just redo Logan. That's all he did. He did alcoholic shit Wolverine. Now he's got to find a life purpose again.
Except he gets to be alive now. He
And
gets
in
to have Laura as his daughter, despite they're both from different universes. And you get this entire thing about like how, who the fuck cares about incursions or that stuff that was put in Multiverse of Madness? They can all just operate the way that they want to. You got the TVA as the villains. They're trying to prune this timeline. Cassandra Nova. You got the band of...
Cassandra Nova is like the dumbest villain of the entire Phase 5, just because she wants to kill herself. Her plan is to just kill herself.
I want to destroy this timeline and kill myself in the process.
What the fuck is your plan, you dumb fuck?
And then, like, the way that Wolverine gets her to calm down is like, I know there's a universe where Charles Xavier would love you.
Yeah, and that's a...
That gets her to stop. It's like, what?
And there's a universe that Charles Xavier wants you to kill yourself a billion times over.
It's so bizarre. And, like, the editing style of that film is so, I'm an X-Man, and this is who I am. You got this entire thing about, like, the importance of the yellow suit and, like, why he wears it is because, like, he didn't want to wear it, but, like, his team was like, you should wear it. And then they all died because apparently they were killed by regular humans. His team. Wow.
I guess I just have assumed
these mutants just suck then.
No, to be fair, they suck in this film. Remember all those Stunt Doubles playing as X-Men characters? Like, they nerfed the fuck off all of them. The thing is, because of that, those cameos, I have to assume that they look like Halle Berry, Barker Jenkins, and James Marsden. I have assumed that because that's what you throw. Everyone is just different version, or at the very least, the similar version of them, or taken from the other films. There's no assumption there. You make it way too explicit. And also, they have like at the end credits, like, oh, here's the X-Men movie. It's like, oh yeah, I guess those are just different variants of the X-Men universe.
Then you got like Johnny Storm played by Chris Evans, and then he gets like easily depowered by Pyro.
Remember, this guy's
just
in his DNA.
And he's goofier and like sillier as a full-grown adult than he was when he was younger.
Somehow, even though the second film arc is him learning to be mature.
He talks about wanting to lick Emma Corrin's ass. And
not.
Deadpool is like saying, yeah, he said all this shit, gets him killed. It makes sense because we couldn't afford to keep him that long. Meta joke. And then you cut the credit scene like, but you see, he did say all that stuff, so that means it's okay.
I don't give a shit. Charles Xavier's sister, who the fuck cares? He's an evil tyrant. Like, of course he's justified to say all those insane stuff, even though it's out of character for him. And in your perspective, he's right.
And, you know, Deadpool, like, just relearns the stuff he learned in the other two movies.
I mean, they assassinated him, Vanessa. We haven't talked about the other cameos yet. Elektra, they literally do not remember her at all in the Daredevil or Elektra movies. I was so frustrated.
Blade,
the show fucking did not existed. Arsenal, gone. But, you know, to be fair, there's only one line. There's only one Blade. There's only ever gotta be one Blade. That's hold up. That's still the only thing that people quote.
That's so fucking hilarious.
I think that's the best thing of that film. One line.
Yeah, and Gambit. Ooh, I'm gonna make a name for myself. That right there, my daddy's nuts. And then X-23 is just generic. It's like, make it super vague. It's like, is she the real one? It's like, yeah, she is the real one.
And then it's like, oh, you saved me. It was like, no, he didn't. He's the other different version. He's a shithead. Also, they assassinated Wolverine at the end because I don't know, because they were like, oh, can you save my friends? Like, nah. And so you're just like, yeah, don't save my friends. So it's like, those are TV. They can just rewrite your past and you still learn the lesson. And also the TV lady is out of character. Basically, he was like, yeah, I don't care. Now we're just supposed to protect the multiverse. Nah, fuck yeah, fuck you. What do we have? Alright, we haven't even mentioned the world building.
They create another new concept because every single fucking project of the multiverse needs to introduce a brand new rule to the multiverse every single time. And this one introduces anchor beings, where like anchor beings are whoever's the main character of this universe. If they die, then the universe will slowly die with that person. So because Logan died in 2017's movie, that selfish decision that he decided to do, now his universe is disintegrating to death. It might take 200 years, but that universe is going to disintegrate because
2000.
2000 years. So like, because of Logan's selfish desire of doing that, the universe is going to die now. First off, it goes off to that meta commentary bullshit that I hate. The universe only relies on one character. So you got like Blade, Elektra for some reason, even though there's Daredevil in that universe. And then you got Gambit, I guess. That's the way that they choose to do that commentary. And then even then, it's like with Anchor Beings, it's like, okay, so if you're going to rely your entire universe on the life of one person, a person that can die at any point, what's the point of doing that?
Don't forget that Logan takes place in 2029, and now it takes place in 2024. What the fuck? How do you even mess that up? I don't get it. That's just a year.
So, and then they also said that Logan is canon with everything else that has happened in the past. Whereas, like, in the original film, like, it was pretty evident that, like, it was kind of like Elseworld, but, like, kind of relevant to the previous films. Like, there was, like, some kind of leeway to that. But, like, Deadpool 3 is like, no, it's, like, fully canon. So it's like, you're in a canon where, like, mutants exist, though. So it's like, you can't really say that. Because, like, in Logan's time, all the mutants are dead, except for the young ones. That was kind of the thing. You're putting in a canon that isn't canon.
There's a lot of, like, disrespect in this element alone. I was like, what the fuck? It's like not mentioning Anchor Beings, TVA, fuck the entire organization. Okay, they can't even remember how the Void looks like. In Loki, it's like grassland. Now it's like Mad Max, just to do a Mad Max reference.
And it's kind of funny now. It's like that's called the Void, and you got the character in this movie called the Void. So.
Don't worry, Thunderbolts forgot about how Yelena is before she got kidnapped.
So that is our ranking for Phase 5 MCU. We got
Guardians 3,
Thunderbolts,
yeah, 4,
The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and
Deadpool and
Deadpool
Wolverine.
and Wolverine.
By the way, the first 3 won by default because they did not broke the time and space.
That's true. I mean, I guess this and then Thunderbolts didn't break time and space either. Doesn't have somebody on Rocket's level.
Don't worry, every single franchise introduced world-breaking stuff. It's just not time and space breaking. Guardians 3, now you got Jesus healing pack. In the Thunderbolts, power of 1,000 suns, exploding suns. Cap 4, pills that can make you into a Hulk. Also adamantium.
To be fair on the adamantium part, Eternals did that.
But they don't have to confirm it's adamantium.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that, yeah. The Marvels,
The quantum bangle.
and the
jump point is part of quantum bangle.
creating a rift in time and space to go to a different universe, and Ant-Man has the whole quantum realm being in one universe. There's only one in the entire multiverse, and how all this life that exists somehow they had to kind of justify as to how Janet survived for so long.
I mean, they don't.
At the same time, it's like Janet also shouldn't be this old, realistically speaking, but it is what it is at this point.
And then, of course, technology that advanced your centuries. Why do you even need to say that? Also, Kang throwing Kang in a place where they can fix his ship instead of, just shoot him.
And, Deadpool having the Anchor Beings and all the characters sucking ass.
And also, remember, TVA said that the reason why we kidnapped Blade and Elektra is because we need to destroy the universe and we can't have you guys intervene or some shit.
And the humor is just really bad.
That's a brilliant plot holes in that film. It's like everything about the Void or TVA forgot they can time travel the entire film. I literally have to make a point of that. I was like, oh, here's a wait for 72 hours. Like, first off, you have reset charges. Second, fucking time travel 72 hours in the future.
Yeah, but you see, nobody watched Loki.
Shit, really? Because people told me this is like the best MCU show ever.
Isn't that Eliath from Loki Season 1, Episode 5?
Now remind me, Deadpool fucking knows about that. Oh, and he acts like fucking stupid about TV, even though he watched that episode at the very least.
That's the MCU Phase 5 ranking.